This is Ken Okel, and I want to welcome you to our weekly segment that we do. We call it the Whiner of the Week. And if you've ever had a car that maybe has had some problems or needed a recall, then I think you're really going to be interested in today's report. So the Whiner of the Week, real quick, it is a weekly award we do through my website, kenokel.com. And we look at something in the world that's kind of outrageous or unexpected. It just kind of makes you scratch your head and go, what's going on? So every week it's someone different. I scour the web and everywhere else to try to find something, and especially if there's something out there that no one else has heard of. And this week I kind of found it, and it was a bit of a surprise. Fiat Chrysler is the Whiner of the Week, and here's why. Just the other day, the automaker was given a $105 million fine by the U.S. government. The funny thing is, this didn't get a lot of coverage. I was really shocked at this. So what's been the problem? Well, it turns out this company, Fiat Chrysler, has been doing a horrible job with handling its recalls. Now, maybe you're like me. You've had a recall before. So this is what usually happens. You get like a notice in the mail that says, hey, this part of your car might have a problem, so bring it into the dealership. We'll put in a special part. You'll be on your way in no time. Doesn't cost anything, and it's done. Okay. Look, I know a car has a lot of moving pieces in it, and sometimes one of them is going to go wrong. Fixing it, better safe than sorry. Well, it turns out Chrysler has been botching recalls. There's actually 23 of them that have had serious problems over the past few years. Let me go through a few of them, because this isn't like a problem with a cup holder. It's big stuff. One is there's a suspension problem. You could lose control of your vehicle. Another one, if you get rear-ended, the fuel tank might be ruptured and your car might go up in flames. That's pretty serious too. There's one where your power brakes might fail. There's another problem where the airbag, might have issues, where, believe it or not, shrapnel could be shot at you. I mean, these are serious problems. And of course, your engine might turn off while you're driving. These are not minor recalls. So what the government investigators found, and this is kind of frightening as I kind of go up on my notes, because I want to make sure I get all this right. In some cases, these recalls weren't really being reported very fast. Sometimes the recall would go out, people would bring their cars in to have them fixed, but either the problem wasn't solved or the parts, they didn't fix the problem. So it's kind of like if you invited someone over for dinner and then when it came time to eat, there was no food. This is not good. So as a result, $105 million fine against Fiat Chrysler. The company may have to buy back $500,000 of its Ram pickups. It's that bad that basically that's what the government has said is you got to buy these cars back, because there's so many problems with it. And if you look closer at this company, Fiat Chrysler, excuse me, little coffee break, warming up this morning. Okay, if you look at this company, there is a cultural problem when it comes to safety. The person who was in charge of safety previously at Fiat Chrysler, they were like 3 rungs down from top management. So in other words, you have someone who's doing safety, but you're not really giving the position a lot of authority or the ability to go right away to the CEO. Now, I understand apparently this has now been remedied, but it's kind of like, come on. This should have been happening from the very start. We understand that mistakes are going to happen with cars, but a car manufacturer needs to be able to make the problem right. Hey, we know things are going to come up. Fix the problem when it happens. Even more interesting, part of this ruling against Fiat Chrysler, which they've kind of accepted and said, okay, we're going to do a better job, they're going to be under government supervision for the next 3 years. I don't know if it's government supervision or it's independent supervisor is going to be looking over to make sure that they are doing the things they are supposed to do when it comes to car safety. So basically the government is saying, we don't trust that you're going to be able to do a good job on this situation. So for all of these things, Fiat Chrysler earns the Whiner of the Week. Now I realize it's not as bad as a $105 million fine, but this was shocking to see a car company disregard safety so much. some of those problems have resulted in close to 100 deaths. And I realize they have to look at certain tables and statistics to decide, okay, when is a recall something that we're going to address? They probably can't address every problem from a financial standpoint. But when it comes to people's lives, you would think that you would be more aggressive in solving this problem, looking for solutions, and letting the public know we can trust you. Right now, am I buying a Fiat Chrysler? I don't think so. And I know that there are lots of good people who work on those cars, who sell those cars, but when it's at the top of an organization that they're not stressing safety and they're not making a top priority, that is a major turnoff. So, Fiat Chrysler is our Whiner of the Week. Of course, if you ever have any ideas for Whiner of the Week, go over to my website, shoot me an email. Website, just like my address here on Periscope, Kenokel. That's my name. Ken Okel. Yeah, I know it's hard to crack the code of my Twitter and Periscope address. We'll be back next week. We do a variety of little features. Sometimes I might have a little video tip for people, help them be better on camera. My background was in television. I also do a podcast that I will often preview. It's called the 2-Minute Takeaway Podcast. That one comes out on Wednesday. It gives you kind of a 2-minute nugget of information. Though I got to tell you, I've been a little long-winded lately. I've been going up to 4 minutes, so I may have to drink a little more coffee before I record the next one. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week and a great weekend. So I am Ken Okel. Take care, Periscope people.